Good morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. We're out here today. Got the sun right in my face. We're going to be building a driveway. It's going to start right here. It's going to go up through the woods, on zigzag. We're going to try to build a house pad way over there. It'll probably take at least today to get the drive and some of the where they want the house punched out, and then there's a clearing past that. We'll get the drone out in a second. Got the machine running. Had to back up about a quarter mile. It's a dead end one lane road. That sun is brutal. So I'm gonna have to move some of this asphalt and concrete out of the way just to get me a parking spot. So we'll get the dozer unloaded, get that fence cut, and start pushing the hole. Alright, so I got the drive cut. We kind of walked this out and put some ribbons out. So I'm just going to punch a real quick hole through here so they can walk or drive and figure out where they want it at. The house is probably 150 yards or something. It's kind of rough when the timber's this thick, making a driveway, because if you lay it over, you see that, maybe? If you lay it over like that, and then you start backing up, the back of these dozers has just got a little skid plate on it, and it'll cram it up in the fuel filters and rip the lines off. You got to really be careful, or maybe it misses that plate and gets in between the glass and that bar, and it'll bust the back glass out. So you gotta be careful with that. Went down through here and eyeballed it. It's so much easier when you get out of the dozer and walk than it is to try to see it in here. You can see the treetops better. So I just walked down through here and put a piece of pink ribbon about every 30 feet or so to give me an idea of which way to go. They want to save some of the trees. And it just makes it so much easier than to try to go in here completely blind. You got to be careful while pushing this, because you'll lay them trees over and it will jab right through the back of the machine. Their dozers are tough, but these trees will just stab. Like I say, they'll turn the back panels up. It's real easy to do. So basically, you lay over about however long the dozer is, and try not to go over the roots, so you can come back So I didn't shoot a whole lot of video today. I forgot my stand, and I wasn't gonna put the GoPro outside the dozer in this timber. But here's the driveway. Met with a homeowner today. we're gonna make it a little wider and we'll go ahead and put ditches on this side, and I think they're going underground with their electric, so I'm gonna have to make it another 3 or 4 feet and then roll the dirt over, and I'll bring the skid steer and shuttle bus all the timber out of the drive and kind of dress it up, make it pretty. But the house is gonna go 100 foot that way, 100 foot this way. And tomorrow you can kind of see there's a creek bottom in there right through there. You might barely see it, but I'm gonna open all that up tomorrow, I think. See what they want to do in the morning. Probably got to take that tree out, that cluster, and there's a few little stragglers, but until we pull the tape on it, I'll leave it like that just to make sure. So we'll get the drone. It looks a lot different, and maybe since I haven't took a video in a long time, I'll remember all my equipment, get my stand out and get it set up. So go to the house and be back in the morning. Well, that's never good. I was running it earlier, went over a bump, lost all hydraulic pressure, pulled the emergency release, got out. I had to take the door off to get out of it. A friend of mine had a computer, hooks up to it. The ECM's responding to the voltage to the solenoids, and I'm pretty sure it's the coupler between the hydraulic pump and the engine, and they're saying it's easier to pull the engine to put it on there. So to be continued, but it really sucks. So I'm gonna have to take the coupler or the grapple off, shove it out of the way with the dozer. Alright, so we're out here today after getting the skid steer going this morning. Here's the log that we tried to get loaded up before we left. Had a little bit of a wet spot, need a little pee pad. There's a top radiator hose. I run it for a little bit because I couldn't see where it was leaking. And I guess just from it being warm when I loaded it on the trailer, it slowly bled off. And I've been watching it, and I never did get to power wash it. It's too cold. I didn't feel like messing with it. So a lot of that's diesel, but it does have a little bit coming off that clamp, and I've already tightened it up. And it's cooled off now. There wasn't no pressure on the hose, so I'm gonna pull the cap and see how much is missing or whatever. But I shuttle bust all the timber out of the drive up here. So I pulled all the brush off both sides and shuttle busted down here. I opened the front of this way up. I got kind of a halfway ditch cut. I still think it needs to be about 2 foot wider. I'm gonna let him decide, because if I go 2 foot wider, I'm gonna take a whole nother probably 6 or 8 more trees on this side, roll this out and crown it a little bit better. Anyways, I'll shoot some video at the end of the drive later. But steadily going. Back in the dozer, here we go. We're gonna basically cut all this out. And here's the skid steers coming out. This is all got to come way down. This is gonna have to be gone, and all that timber back in there to push all the dirt towards the truck. You can't really tell it, but that's, I haven't shot it yet, but it's got to be 8 foot on that corner. So hopefully I can, if I get enough of these trees on this side cut down, so I'll have to cut all this down 3 or 4 feet, and the corner of the house is gonna be over there, so it needs to be cut down about 4 feet. And that'll only put me about 4 or 5 foot of fill down on that corner, but all this timber's got to go. So running out of places to pile it, because don't want to pile it up around the house. We're in a burn ban right now, so you ain't gonna be able to burn for a while. So I'm going to push it all down in the opening in the corner, probably 2 or 3 really big piles, and dig a burn pit. And I think he wants me to burn it later, but that's really the only way to deal with it here. You know, ideally, you know, you'd want like 6 or 7 piles out here in this opening, but that's where the house is going to be, and I think they're wanting to try and build here pretty quick, so I can't set it there, wait a month or 2 for the burn ban to be gone, so then you could burn it and then come back and push all the dirt. It'd be too far out, so it's going to cost a little more money to do it that way, but that's really the only choice we got. So back to pushing timber. So we're out here to start day 3, 2.5, whatever you want to look at it. Got the 1 pole, pulled the tape measure. We're about 10 or 15 foot short, so I'm gonna have to push that timber on back, clear out some more trees, because originally we wanted the house farther up here, but the transition is going to be so steep coming off this drive going into it, because I'm not going to have enough dirt on that corner. So we're going to have to blend this a little better. So I'm going to have to probably knock down the trees behind the dozer, open all that up a little bit more, another 10 or 15 feet. So I'll have to get in behind that brush pile and push all them trees down, and then try to work that pile on back. It kind of sucks, but didn't really have the measurements of the house. I'm just kind of guessing and, you know, guess wrong. So sometimes that's just how it goes. But I don't think there's enough dirt from this hillside to build that. Like I say, I'm just gonna do this first, push this dirt over there, get it out of the way, because I'm gonna use that on the slopes. And then I'll actually, this battery's at 46% and it keeps shutting off. I think that's what it did to me the other day when I was working on that skid steer and I had it on time-lapse video. So anyways, if it don't shut off again, there's not enough dirt here to do all this and blend it all in, so I'm gonna have to take more trees out. So I guess I'll go put this 46% battery back on the charger. Anybody else having problems with this? What's the other options as far as cameras? Anybody got any ideas? This one ain't that bad. I'm about mid hip high on top of the dozer. That's where I got it set over there at the truck. The truck is at least 3 or 4 foot above where I got it cut down right there. The transit's over there. I was standing on top of that dirt berm and it wouldn't read, and I thought, no way. But I don't know how, it's got to be 10 foot, 12 foot. Yeah, because the dozer's every bit of 9. So that's 10, 11, 12. That's why you don't ever give a price on a job. You always want to shoot it in first. And this had so much trees in it, I couldn't have done it anyways. But just looking at it, I figured 6 or 8 foot, not 12. Woo! So what we're gonna have to do for sure, that's coming out. All that's gonna come out, and all that's gonna go. That's gonna go down at least 3 foot. The problem is I'm gonna have to start way up the drive, sloping it down in order to make it where it's not like that going into the garage. So I'll start pushing more timber down and start cutting that bank off, and I will probably be here 3 or 4 days pushing dirt. So I can't believe it's that high. I would have lost money on that deal. So just to give it another perspective, here's where I set the transit at. That one says 3.5 foot. That one is over top of it. I couldn't hardly reach it. I was standing on top of the dozer, thigh high. So that's about 12 foot of fill. And it's so misleading when the slopes are this steep and you try to judge it. Like, I'm probably eye level with the back hub of that Dodge. I'm 45, 50 feet maybe from it. So in order to cut this down, and the house actually starts 10 more feet from this. We give it 10 foot all the way around. So the house is actually gonna be way over here. So I'll have to cut all this out, lose all these trees, start sloping it really hard, start over there, do the same thing, and start cutting that out. And that way where the truck's sitting needs to come down at least 2 or 3 foot. And I'm gonna start the taper way back over there, like 30, 40 foot in front of that truck, start tapering it down. That way when you get to this point, you know, we won't have a ski slope in January. We'll save the ski slope for out the back door instead of the front door. But we're gonna knock some timber down and maybe do some time lapse when we start pushing dirt. We're gonna be out here a while. So I got it all stripped off where it's nice clean sand everywhere, and got all the garbage, all the roots and stuff outside the pad. Use that for the slopes on the side. I started digging this yesterday for a burn pit. I was just gonna go a lot deeper than this, but I'm gonna widen it right to the edge of that and go 3 or 4 foot down and just start pushing this all into the corner. I cleaned all this out and build this up and go ahead and roll this pile in here, and then I'm going to clean all that out and push it over here too, so I'll have a place to burn, and probably bench this whole thing about 3 foot. I think I haven't crunched the numbers on it yet, but it's a lot of dirt. And I'm going to start way up past the truck, widen all that out, and it looks totally different when I'm done, that's for sure. But I'll probably get a time-lapse video up on the skid steer or somewhere over here where you can see it, and burning diesel. So we're out here today. This will be the first full day of pushing just strictly dirt. Temperature gauge says 32, but I don't know, it feels more like 40. Kind of t-shirt weather, not a cloud in the sky. Got the machine greased and gassed. This is what it looked like after I cut all that out. I'm gonna start over here. I'm gonna pull that down real hard and get this transition, see what it looks like. That way I know how much more I can cut this down and just keep pushing. We'll probably bring it up maybe 4 or 5 foot today. I don't know, we'll see. This sand push is pretty easy, but you still got to kind of drive over it and pack it, and then pack the slopes in and stuff as you go up. So be steady pushing all day long. Here we go. So I've slowly brought this up. It's about 8 inches, I guess. So now I'm just going to side grade it and drive over it real good. And then this first cut right here will be where I start letting the dirt out on the next run. And it's just a slow process. You get out and pick up the bigger sticks. You know, and as I'm doing it, I'm watching that to try to keep it level. We still got a long ways to go. This way you keep it packed as you go. The sand's maybe a little more forgiving, like some of your bigger clays, but you still want to package lift. There's actually an auction tomorrow. We're going to look at a pad foot. I don't know if it goes tomorrow or maybe Saturday. Talking about ice coming in, so I may or may not go. The sheep's foot and the packer would definitely speed it up. I'm just grazing the tops off, trying to catch some more sticks basically and push them off the bed. And then I'll drive over and clean it. So got the second lift in, third, I don't remember. But we're about 4 foot of fill, maybe 5. I can't remember how far I drove that in the ground, but that post is like 6 foot tall, or 5 foot, I think. And might have to push the Catawba tree over. We're gonna see how close this dirt berm is gonna get to it. I'd like to leave it. I don't think the homeowner really cares. I got the driveway cut down pretty good. I'll probably get the transit out. I've got it down about 2 more foot than what it originally was on that corner. So I know it's still probably top of my head right here. It needs to come up by at least another 6 foot. But I'll keep pushing on the driveway and get it down as low as I comfortably feel. Might have to lose some more trees. And kind of go from there. I'll take a break and get the transit out and just see. Probably, like I say, finish cutting the driveway down and look at it and get it to where I'm comfortable with it, and then kind of go from there. Start working going down this slope where the Dodge is at and cutting that all out. Get back in the dozer. Well, it's the end of the day. I got the drive kind of roughed in. It's close. I'm probably gonna knock a few more trees down and make it a little wider, go a little deeper. Pretty good transition. There's gonna be 3 garages right here on this corner. It's still got to come up probably 2 foot, 3 foot. If I can get this down a little bit more, make sure I can get the water to run on and around. I still got to cut all this out. I'll cut it down maybe 6 more inches or something, but I'll put the transit on it. It's supposed to be snowing tonight, maybe 2 inches, I don't know. So it might be Monday before I get back out here. But still got a lot of topsoil there, and probably push it down this side because this back door is going to come out on this side, so it'll be a real nice big long slope coming out of it. It'll look good when I get it all done, but we'll see how much snow we get tonight, if any, whether we'll come out tomorrow or Monday. So till next time. So we're out here today. I got my son with me. He's running a skid steer. It's been a while. It'll take a minute to get warmed up on it. The wind's probably blowing 30 mile an hour. It's 50 degrees. It's really nice other than the wind. So I went ahead and shot grade on it today. Oh, you can't see it, but that corner's 5 or 6 more feet high. So I got him pushing the crumb trails about halfway, and then I'll knock them down. I'm gonna start cutting that bank out. So we're gonna put it on we're starting out here this morning. Hopefully this will be the final day on this project. I'm gonna get him to push all these crumbs starting in here somewhere all the way across, probably 4 or 5 buckets, whatever he ends up doing. And then I'm gonna drive over all this and pack it, and we'll probably have to make one more cut to get enough dirt. I'm gonna get the transit out and see how much fall I got between here and around the corner, and make sure I don't cut it down too far. I know there's plenty of fall past there, so I'll be fine, but I'm gonna crunch it. I think I can cut this down another 10 inches, and then that should put us with enough dirt to finish it. So we'll put this up on the hill and pack it down. Amazing how much dirt that'll push when it's loose like that. He pushed up that whole pile when I packed that down. It's a good experience. He's getting a lot better at getting it smooth too. But we're gonna make one more cut across here, roll all that down. We're definitely gotta take a little more over there. And I'm fixing to get the transit out and check it, see if we got how hard of another cut we gotta take. So just another day on the job. All right, so we're getting close. So I started, went ahead and turned the transit on and shot it in, or on the machine. And when I got to about here, it was starting to be more than a foot. And I don't like doing it more than about 8 inches because I don't have a compactor. So what I did is I went back, shaved it down 6 inches, pushed it out. And so basically from my hand right across here is all cut. From here over is finished. And so I pushed it in 6-8 inches, compacted it all down, and now I'm gonna push it to him, and then we're just gonna stack a bunch, do another run. It's gonna be almost to the top of that, which I don't know if you can see that. That corner's got to come about 2 foot to nothing. So we'll push some dirt and he'll shovel it over there, and we'll just slowly inch it up, and then we'll start dressing everything out. taught him that trick. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. In and out. Well, we're almost done. I went ahead and cut it 3 inches. Shoved all dirt over there. I'll really put a real nice pitch on it since the back door's going out that way. This turned out pretty nice. Got the new guy on the skid steers. First time I've let him clean up the little crumb rolls on the pad after I'd already finished it. He's doing pretty good. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? I just have to fix it. It ain't no big deal. So we'll get Ariel out, and once I finally get done, I'll get up on the hill and kind of walk around the edges and stuff, and we'll be on the next one. What do you think, Dalton? Huh? What do you think of it?
It's pretty smooth.
It's pretty smooth?
Yeah.
So what'd you learn this trip? What do you mean nothing? What'd you learn how to do that you didn't know before? Nothing?
No.
Nothing? Well, not one thing. Well, this is the first time you've been on a pad like this after it's done.
No.
I've never let you finish it like this.
Haven't?
You've been on it a bunch when we're pushing dirt across it, but never finished it.
Are
Huh?
you very sure?
I know so.
I'm pretty sure I smoothed it over.
No, not like this yet. Anyways, we're almost done. Almost done. It's another day, another dollar. So I went ahead and cut 3 inches off that pad. It's coming up a little bit short down here. And it was a little too steep. His back door's going to come out this way, so I wanted him to have a little more flat room. Maybe have some kind of yard eventually. So I'm just gonna, start off like that, end up till I end up this all the way down to the bottom. Like this side is